Right, I think we're live. Right, bear with me while I get stuff set up because bloody chat won't work. No, would it work there? Bear with me. Your channel. Right, I think we're live. Right, that's definitely coming through live. Pop out chat. Kill that. Live chat. Right. This is going to be a train wreck, but I'll try my best. Right, so idea of this is rather than filming, going through stuff and editing and pick it best bits, I'm just going to do different lives on the night to go through all the stuff to do with UFOs. I need to get some music as well because it'd be nice just to have some music in the background to kind of like just even it out. But yeah, I think what I'm going to start with is I have two files preloaded up. I have the first one here, and we're just going to flick through it and see what we can find. I will post a link to where you can find all this as well and go through it and stuff like that. But this is basically the files that was released via Trump releasing them. And when I can bring that up, oh, you divvy. Right, hang on, bear with me. New window. I believe I've just done that. Yeah, gov, that's it. Bear with me. Just loading up. Why have we got lag? Right, I know what's going on. The internet's just had a kerfuffle. What is going on here? Let's start. Oh, alright, so we've got that. So something's wrong with that. Why is that going on with that? Go back to that. Right, for some reason I can't get onto this web page. Why? Right. Anyway, that would have a bit weird. So let me just load it up in here as well. Kill that. Kill that. Go there. Go there. Right, I can see chat now. Nice to know nobody's here. Oh no, we've got one person. I'm assuming Max has just come in. So what I'm going to do is, so this is the page where I found all the stuff. I will post a link in the description box, and I will run through stuff. So there's a hell of a lot to go through. Like it's unbelievable amount of stuff. There's let me just make myself a bit smaller here. I'll just push myself out of the way for a minute so you can see better. But yeah, basically there is, I think more's been released. Jesus. There's like 23 files or 23 loads. So like you can get up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jesus. So yeah, I've got the first two, which is that one and that one. I believe this is new actually. Oh my god. So you can download the video. Right, let's watch this. I don't think there's any sound. Whoa, what the hell is that? Where's this even from? Let me add some context to this, because on March 6, 2027, the US House of Representatives requested access to the European. Let me get my glasses because I can't bloody see. It's an registry going over 40. You need reading glasses. Right, let me just push myself back in a bit more so you can still see me. There. Right. You can see chat as well now. Right. God, what have you done? Told you train right. Identified a collection. Arrow for this video is a worded title. Around 20 of water is likely derived from the infrared sensor body of this military platform. Well, if military's tracking this, it can't not be like real. The hell? What the hell is that? That's fast. Right. That's new. They keep adding stuff. On March 6th, 8 members of US House of Representatives, 15 potentially. So this is kind of like a live reaction type thing. I'm going to run through stuff as well as talking about it and going through things. But I think I'm just going to keep running through stuff, and I'll keep doing lives, do odd video and stuff like that. Because I can't do paranormal and everything, like how you go to ghost places and stuff like that. It costs an arm and a leg, and yeah, I've got a job and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm always waffling on. If anybody's in chat, say hello. Nice to speak to you. But yeah, so context is go through stuff, see what I think, and then anybody in chat, you know, you can join me at the same time and stuff like that. All right. I did say this was going to be a train wreck. I really did. But this is long. It's a lot. Held on a classified network. Many of these materials, yep, okay. There's a defined title is Syrian UAP instant acceleration. It's likely derived from an infrared sensor. The same one as last time. Right, let's watch this, see what happens. It's 5 minutes long. I'll skip bits if I have to. There's no sound, sorry. Hello, Echoes. What? Right, Tony, it's just slow it down. I get what's going on, but it's hard to have context here. Like, what is even happening? I don't know if why is it. Obviously, this is redacted as well. So 5% speed. Yeah, we see it going fast. Right, what's that? That is weird. Let's go back a bit. Bear with me. What's next one? Values inverted, picture zoomed. Okay. I'm losing track here. Full original clip TRT 2 minutes 52. Right. Oh my god! Wow. I'm assuming that's desert, but looks of it. Yeah, it is. The hell is that? It could be a drone, though. To be fair, I know it sounds daft, but I don't see why military would be tracking it. Not something that fast. There's no context in these videos. Let me have a look. Digital alterations, back screen. Yeah. So the video description, right? Okay. No, I'm 100% on this. I know it's legit. Like, obviously, it's released from military and stuff. I get that, but there's too much redacted. There's no context. Hey, up, Simply Mark. It's definitely weird because, like, obviously, whatever's tracking it is, you know, it's military, so it'll be good and it'll be fast and stuff like that. But my issue is like, you can't see all. It's just a door. What does everybody else think? Like in chat, like it's not cool. It's crap. Like, what am I even watching? I knew I'm gonna have a meltdown. Oh yeah, great, whatever. Right, I'm done. Let's try another. UAP reported at Sandia Base. Really? Okay, let's download this. This looks pretty cool. So look. Right, sorry, you're gonna have to listen to me reading stuff. Right, let's have a look. References made to secret letter dated 1949. Guard orders have been amended directing that the electric gate be closed between 1700 hours and 0700 hours to the following. Locks are replaced and the bolts and all inspections, gates, yeah, ports and bridges. The final draft has been reviewed. There's like 116 pages. I don't know if people can outlist me just reading through 116 pages. Sorry, just adjusting stuff again. Boom. Oh, it's that one. Yeah, I need that one. Yeah, this is going to take too long. There's too much to read. Right, let's cheat. So I want to download this data. Where to? Download. Desktop. Let me just check this across. Yep, that one. Open. Save. Right, bear with me. Right, okay, so that's a new one. Right, let's chuck. Oh, bear with me. Sorry, I'm just doing something really quick. This is an absolute train wreck memory. That's in there, isn't it? Take controls. Right. Okay. Sorry, just deleting all chats in Chat GPT. We can start afresh. Right, we're in. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop that file into there. New. Please analyze this and see what it says. Thinking. That's really long. That's a lot to read. Yeah, no worries, Simple Mac. This is a train wreck. Okay. Thinking. Sorry, I'm just camera reading. I'll come back. Eh? The secret's something why the US military feared the green fireballs. Eh? I don't even know about half this crap. Green fireballs, anomalous aerial phenomena over New Mexico answer. The document appears to be a collection of former classified Sunday United States Air Force correspondence, including secret special weapons facility matters. Why this film matters. Right, I don't know what's going on here. Right, I'm just going to start with first of one that I downloaded, because if not, we're going to be here all bloody day. So I'm assuming it's that one. Right, so we're going to start from this. So this, I'm assuming, is This is one of the first entries. It's not. Let's see if it's got any. Has it got any? No, it's not dates on it. Just when I saved it, property, see if it's all on it. 10th of May, signature, security, no. Details. No. So, let's go through this. So, this dates on it are August 1947. Let me zoom that in a bit so you can see it. That one, that one, that one, that one. Why does it do that? That's about as much use as a chocolate toaster. Why can't it centre? This is a train wreck. I don't even know what the frig I'm doing here. Why has it done that? I don't know if you can see that. Oh dear. Oh. Let's try controlling that. There we go. Right, let's go old school. Right, so August 8th, 1947. Let me just move myself down a bit. There we go. Right. There are transmitted here copies of letters dated August 4th, 1947, and entitled Investigation of Flying Discs, furnished to me by Major William Graham, Lieutenant Colonel Spring, enclosing copies of reports for additional reports citing flying discs by persons in Oregon and Arizona, together with the results of an investigation in that regard. It is noted that these were conducted prior to the time Bureau instructions were issued that are. This is proper military to hell and back, this, tell you. I don't know what that is. Some imprint in it, but looks of it. They've obviously taken, yeah, that's back of it because it's been received. Okay. Reference, a teletype from Newark Division to the Bureau dated August 4th stating flying disc had been reported to have Hackensack, New Jersey on August 1st last by one Charles Casella and William Truex. Charles Casella, yeah, I'll skip that because I'm removing people's. So the child had apparently lost its balloon. So I looked out about a block and a half and away, noticed a round black object moving from south to north and east of the stop where he and the Truex were standing. Casella noticed that it was moving too fast for an ordinary balloon, but he could not discern whether it was a globular form in or a disc. He said it was about 30 to 40 inches in diameter. Jesus. 30 to 40 inches in diameter, what's that? 30, yeah, okay. They pointed it out to her. She said it looked like a bird on the horizon, so small it faded out of sight shortly thereafter. Casella said that line drawn along its apparent course, its flight would go from the vicinity of Bendix, sorry if I'm butchering that, New Jersey to the point of Westwood, New Jersey. She also said that a man on the porch crossing the street also noticed it and pointed out to the woman. Casella said that this seemed excited but did nothing about it. Positive nautical illusion, he was not facing to sun. Okay. Right, let's see if we can pull out on this one. Fine disc. Right, what we're looking at here. Let's just kill that tab because it's doing me head in. So that will be, right, let me do it this way. That with that. Yeah, we'll do that, won't it? Right, so Newark, where's Newark? New Jersey, right, okay. Flying disc, New Jersey, August 3rd, 1947. It comes back. How has Google even documented this already? What the hell? That's crazy. So literally, that's just brought a link up to that, to my right hand side. Like, that is mental. Oh, it literally is that. Oh, oh, this might be a different one actually. Bear with me. I think it is actually. Yeah. No, that's the yeah. This is the one. Right. Okay. So, something like Google search, isn't it? I wonder if no. Just keep going. Give me a second. Right. Apologies for that. Just need a toilet really quickly. Let's get some camera. Right, we're back. Right. Uh, I don't know what to do with this. This is train wreck. Let me just center that back across so you can see it. Right. My issue is that if I try and research every little last bit, I'm going to be here forever and ever and ever. So I think what I'm going to do is just run through it because my problem is that a lot of people's reported stuff, like a lot, and it's not a case if you believe or don't. It's a case of does the evidence fit? Uh, the thing that bugs me though is that's like what probably not so long really after World War II. I don't know when Battle of Japan ended. My dates are crap. I think it was 46. So it's not too far off. So what I'm going to do is keep pen and paper, and then when it comes to it, I'm just going to have a run through, see what I can get myself from it. And I'm just going to keep going. Because I don't understand, like, why is this all being released? How did they investigate it? And, like, obviously they've taken quite a lot of detail. So from that, you, there's not much on it really. I'm not sure if this is the next one. So that's Portland, Phoenix. Okay. So flying disc reported. Yeah, that's that. So we've read that bit. So this is another one. Special Agent Williams. I'm assuming. I think it was the FBI, wasn't it? If anybody knows in chat, let us know. I'm sure it's the FBI. In question 7:30 p.m. on the evening of Sunday, August 3rd, which is oh my god, I really need to start writing stuff down. Is this the same one? Yeah, August 3rd, 1947. Look, this is literally like I said, it's just a train wreck. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to like just go through stuff, and then when I start developing some sort of like I don't know analogy of what to do and how to do this, I'll just do that from now on. So just bear with me for a minute, but we're just going to run through things. So I've even lost my page. That one, what a dipstick. Page 6, right? Uh, yeah, okay. So that's that. She said that she was in the house when Marcella called to her She went out immediately. They pointed out the object in question. She saw it just before it disappeared over the horizon, but she declared that it was in view from the time for approximately 1 minute. She said it was round and silver blue in colour and appeared to be revolving. Okay. So, silver blue in colour. Sight for approximately 1 minute. You see, this is my issue. Like, with the military testing, something, you know, like there's so many different things. Like, I really, really want to believe, but at the same time, I want to try and bring some general, you know, like common sense grounds to it and stuff. But obviously, like, I can't really do much because I don't know America, because America's like vast compared to where I'm at in the UK. So like one place I'd assume maybe might be the size of where I live, which is nothing in comparison. It probably yeah. Anyway, everybody knows difference in sizes with stuff, but like over here, like in Yorkshire, Yorkshire wouldn't even be like, it'd probably be like, I don't know, I don't even know what Yorkshire's equivalent to in America. So when I think of stuff, I think, oh yeah, that might be quite close. Like we've got the Harrogate base over that way, which, you know, let's say for instance it was like Area 51, and they decided to test stuff there, etc., and things like that. Then if there was a lot of sightings around there, I'd be like, well, it's got to be military, or you'd assume it to be. So I would push my uh, thoughts that way to try and, you know, prove or disprove via data and stuff like that. But with this, like, I could sit for the next 24,000 years, like, literally just cataloguing this. I mean, it's catalogued anyway, which is good. But yeah, it's just, it's mental. Uh, it really is. So anyway, back to what we're waffling on about. She said it was round, silver and blue in colour and appeared to revolve, and she said that she didn't recall making any comment that it might have been a bird, and herself had no idea of where it could be. In view of the distance from which she noticed, she said it could not have been more than 6 inches in diameter, but would have been much larger if she'd been near to it. So that's right, okay. It's hard to say how far away from it then. Did not notice anyone pointing towards the object in question. The only other person around to her knowledge was Gloria Truex, sister of William Truex, who remained in the house and did not see the object at all. 459 stated that she was on the porch in the evening question with her mother, but did not notice an unusual object in the sky, nor had any being present there to point out the object in question. Following information was received. Private Company, 2nd Battalion, 47th Regiment, 9th Division. He enlisted in the United States Army on May 29th, 19th, mother in 88 Wells Avenue, River Edge, Bergen County, New Jersey. Truex stated that Sunday, August 3rd, 1947, at 8 p.m., he was standing outside home of his girlfriend, Miss Joyce McFarland, New Jersey, accompanied by Charles Casella on 280 Hackensack, New Jersey, with his sister's fiance. He said that we're looking at the radio antenna on a home near the address when they noticed an object about 2 to 3 feet in diameter moving rapidly, about 200 yards off the ground. Jesus, that's not much, is it? Said he thought at first it was a child. That's not very high, I mean. But when he noticed that there was no wind and the object had no strings to it, he decided it was something else. He stated the object was moving in a steady, straight path going north, and he said there was no exhaust or indication of any motive power for the object. Flat child's cup than anything. Sorry, I'm skip reading here. Casella stated maybe it's a flying saucer. He said he'd never seen anything move through the air quietly. The subject. Trick stated that neither Neo nor Casella had any object to drink, and there was sufficient light for them to observe very clearly. Sergeant James. Okay. Right, so that's what? Four. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 people that seen it and 1 person that didn't. But again, it depends where they were sat at the time in question. But this is so hard to like. I mean, if I lived this area, I'd know what it was, and I could maybe go out and replay it. Is this another one? Yeah, it is. 8 for the 5th, 47. 5th. Which way are we round? Because in America, isn't the date on the... So the date's on the start, and then... So this is 2 days after that one, because August, yeah, 8. So the date's first, then the day's second, and then the year's last. So let's have a look. Informants, flying discs, miscellaneous info received from Dow Chemical Company, Midland, Michigan, that on July 10 last Raymond Edward Lane, an employee of Dow and subsidiaries since about 1922. Oh, spelling mistake. Brought some material to their physics laboratory, stating that about 5 p.m. July and his wife Laura were walking in a field owned by Dow, and about 100 feet away heard a puff noise. Turned and saw a ball of white about the size of a bushel bucket. What? Burning about a foot off the ground. The fire died out immediately later. Scooped up 3-inch area of fused sand into a can and took this to the physics lab. What? And their story, Dow authorities considered story fantastic, but have examined material and state contents to be ordinary sand. Not radioactive, but given off ammonia gas, a small silver nugget. Not pure except for sand. Missed it in not radioactive, melted, which gives off ammonia odor, and little droplets of silver melted in sand, and some other grey, which is radioactive. Level of radioactivity extremely low, and formally implied by government at Los Alamos. Project states fused sand has some characteristic. At Los Alamos, I'm sure isn't the Los Alamos project the Area 51? Los Alamos project, is it Area 51? No, okay. Right, I have no idea then. Illuminati is a New Mexico facility well established during World War II. Project Wise, a secret headquarters of Manhattan. Its primary mission was to design and build the world's first atomic bombs. Right, okay. Right, that explains that then. Right, I have no idea. That's just weird. Very weird, sorry. I'm just figuring things. That's weird. Page 2. But not believed to be the same. Raymond Land, have known his possession of small quantity luminous paint. To be an amateur photographer, to have limited knowledge of chemistry and physics from employment at Dow. Land describes purely agnostic to plant protection officers. Interesting. Photography and lecturers to Lane is white or me. So they've literally profiled the people, haven't they? Neither party admits story as a prank, but Lane has mentioned flying discs and rockets on interview. Lane was reluctant to discuss the matter, and neither he nor his wife were able to locate the exact location where material was found. Army Air Forces. Right. I'm just going to draw a blank on that. I can't even finish my other one, can I? So silver blue in colour, 4 people and 1 person didn't see it. There's not a lot I can say to that, is there? Like, it's just people writing, I weren't there. But the only problem is like, it's like the 3rd of August 1947. And it's like, I'm not saying it's the height of the war or anything like that, but it could be absolutely anything. But it's just weird. Because back in them days, like, people really didn't have time to be reporting odd stuff. It's not like now where if you say, for instance, you went out one night and you got the best footage of a UFO overnight, you would literally just you blow up on social media overnight. So it's not like the same effect like that, is it? Where there's money gain or fame or some sort of fame, interviews, whatever. But it's totally different now. And one of the mega problems that I have is most of the videos coming out are like literally being filmed off a potato, like Nokia without just Nokia cameras and stuff like that. But a lot of it's, I'm not 100% sure. More people know this about more than me, and it's something that I'm learning on at the minute. So I'm not sure. I just wanted to run through this to see if I could really find out that we're a bit more concrete. But it pretty much looks like the web scraped it already, or most things, and if anything has been found, it's probably been released by now. But yeah, I don't know what to say so far. That's just, it's a bit weird because more than one person saw that at the same time on the August 3rd, 1947, which is weird. So I'm gonna put a bit of belief into that one because there's more than one reported. That one with this bit, I don't know what the hell's going on with this. They saw a white ball and then it dropped, and then they've looked at it, they've looked at the thing and they can't find anything. Could be a government cover up. We all know. Could be anything. But yeah, scrape onto it next, see what happens. Detroit office from Raymond Edward Lane and is recommending that this material be personally delivered to layers and sections of appropriate contact. Right, okay. So that's the stuff going off. Information received from the Dow Chemical Company, Midland, Michigan. On July 10th, 1947, one Raymond Edward Lane, an employee of Dow Chemical Company since about 1922, brought some material to the physics laboratory, stated that about 550%, he and his wife Laura, scooped up 3 each, we've been through this. Considered the story fantastic, but I've examined the material. It's greyish colour, okay. Raymond Lane is known to have in his possession a small quantity of luminous paint, right, okay. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say. So, where's this? So this is, I don't know if they've done it in date, because this one's the 8th of August, 1947. And it's a flying disc again. Okay. So this is 5 days after the other one, but is it in the same place? No addresses on there. Let's have a look. Security. What? Flying disc sighted by Mrs. Robert Little. There's Little 63. So this is Chicago. Okay, Chicago. What page is that on? Page 15. Bear with me, I'm just writing stuff now. Let me just go back up to top, find out where that was, because I've totally lost my train of thought now, and I'm breaking stuff again. Sorry, everybody. So that was in San Francisco. San Francisco. Right, I'm crap at geography. I'm assuming they're not close. No, because, yeah, they won't be far off actually thinking about it, will San Francisco and Chicago at all. Right, let's go to page 16. 16 dot. Do that so it doesn't mess your eyes. Nope. What page? Oh, 15. Apologies. Right, so I'll put this in page so you can see it. Fake news AI generated. On what though? You've lost me here, mate. Sorry if I'm a bit slow with chat there. Let me just put that up there so you can see it. How's it fake news AI generated? Can you add some context? I'm grateful because I don't mind a debate at all. Like, I don't know where you stand on this. It's just this has been released by the US government, and it's whatever files are taken in as and when. Okay. Flying discs out by Mrs. Robert Little, Security Matter, ex Chicago Herald, American report that Little 6327 Harper, Chicago. Yeah, we've seen this. Advised Little sighted disc over a month ago, and she is 18 years of age. No further inquiry contemplated. Okay. Flying Sort Colonel. It's Intelligence Division of the War Department advised Special Agent Reynolds of July 5th. So this is 21st. So this is going before. Why ain't somebody done this in date order? It was so much easier. 21st. 7th. 47. So, Colonel Carl of the Intelligence Division of the War Department advised. Okay, thanks for letting me know how it goes. Alright. Night Officer Dick Wright, addressed to the Commanding General, 32nd AFS Unit, Wallingfield, Washington, D.C. Right, I'm sorry, I'll just quickly skip reading that. Advised that in the view of the fact that the observation of the flying saucer was made on July 7th and the date of the unsigned telegram is July 5th, together with the proximity of Little Lake to the points where the objects were observed, it desired that the Bureau conduct some investigation of Shaver to determine whether or not he has any information pertaining to the origin of flying saucers. Mr. Renal advised Colonel that his request will be made known to you and in recommendations, recommending that the field is directed to make inquiries regarding share event if deemed advisable, interviewed him regarding information that he has relative to flying discs. Results of any investigation should be forwarded to liaison. Right, okay. The War Department has furnished an entire report on flying saucers. Yeah, incidents referred to attached memorandum in the General Dillaway. It is therefore desired that the Chicago. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Hope you're okay. Chicago Field Division as soon as I get at Gentergerson. I don't know if you're still there, mate. If you want to comment, let us know what you're referring to with the fake news, because I'm quite. I think I either lost your train of what you're saying or just anything, mate. Just get back to us. Be grateful. So the flying disc is desired that the matter be handled as soon as. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Attached here is copy of signed telegram received by HQA 1947, which is the Lake. In view that flying saucers was made corresponds closer to date than signed. I don't even know half this stuff is. Further details concerning flying discs, immediate contacts of Mr. Shaver, Lily Take, Illinois, who have made important information concerning their origins unsigned. Oh, enjoy, mate. Report on flying saucers regarding reports by 4 witnesses while in flight in 2 aeroplanes. Yeah, this is one that I brought up last time. So this is 7th of July, 1947. So these are pilots. Following the statistics regarding reports of 4 witnesses while in flight in the air in 2 aeroplanes. Right. So he doesn't say if the pilot's not. So bear with me on this. Oh, hey up, Julie. All right. First reports time. What's CST now? California Standard Time? No idea. All of the observers 800 feet above the ground. Altitude of the source of 4,000 feet. Observed period first signed. Constance flight was observed from. Okay. Second report 14:30. So 11. So we've got 11:45, 14:30, 11:45, 14:30. 1, 2. Hi, Julie. Second report's time. Altitude of observers 3,500 feet. Altitude of saucer 2,500 feet. Period. Flight observed from Eagle. The flight covered 22 miles in 20 seconds, which is a speed of 3,960 miles per hour. What? Second, right, okay, so that's first report. Second report. Flight maneuvers. First observation sources descended vertically, edgewise, through autocumulus clouds, stopped at 4,000 feet and assumed horizontal position and proceeded in a horizontal flight from a horizontal for 15 seconds, covering 25 miles. Flight altitude for a period of 20 seconds, covering 22 miles. By the time the pilot had removed his camera from the glove compartment, his phone, the source disappeared and again reappeared approximately 10 miles further along its course after 6 seconds, making its final disappearance. Yeah, this is odd because it's a pilot. And pilots have to look for stuff when they're flying. Obviously, I'm not sure about 1947, but like you have to be observant. You've got your radar, etc., and stuff like that. Obviously, you've got your air traffic control, but they always say to you, oh, you got traffic at like 500 feet below you at 3 o'clock or whatever like that, and then you'll always tell them if you've seen it, you let them know back, etc., and stuff like that. So they have to be aware of the surroundings. But how on God's earth that? I don't know. It's weird. And yeah, this is the map. I've already done this, so I won't go into that because it's. So let me zoom that out a bit. So that's the map basically of where it happened. The lakes. I'm assuming that's the flight path that he took. It was here. Okay, right. Let me just center that up. Bear with me. Zoom that in a bit more. Right. So, San Francisco intelligence officers, McCardfield, advised that, in their opinion, from their investigation, there's no question of the crash of what? How did I get from that to that? What crash? How did that go from that to that? 8 for the 647. So this is. It just keeps jumping everywhere, doesn't it? It's just random bits of paper just thrown everywhere. Right, let's have a look. Seattle, August 5 last. Intelligence officers McCardfield advised that their opinion from an investigation there is no question of the crash of the B-25 at Kelso, approximately 2:50 a.m. August 1 last having been caused by any sabotage. They state the investigation had the left engine burned out and exhaust stack which caused the wing to burn and break off. The left wing, as it broke off, tore off the tail, and the plane crashed into the ground, killing the captain, Davison, and Lieutenant Brown. Intelligence officers of the 4th Air Force who were returning from McCall Field to Hamilton. The crew chief and a hitchhiker parachuted to safety from the plane. Only 4 members were aboard the plane. Davidson and Brown, being pilot and co-pilot, and had no chance to escape when the wing broke off. Lieutenant Colonel Donald and I think it's Lieutenant Springer, officer for the 4th Air Force, Hamilton, and that they obtained some of the disc fragments, Crimson and Darla partners in the lumber business at Tacoma, Washington. Page 2. Right, we're going to cut out names because it's easy. Who was one of the first that reported seeing flying discs? Pilot from Seattle, who also reported seeing flying discs. The interview took place at the Winthrop Hotel in the afternoon of July 31st. Last captain. Yeah, okay. Tacoma Times, United Press, Wyman received anonymous phone calls August regarding the meeting at the Winthrop Hotel on the disc fragments and that the B-25, which crashed the morning of, was sabotaged or shot down. Information is not yet indicated. The entire story started by Dahl and Crimson possibly to promote sale of slag found in the gravel pit on Maury Island. No information. What? So, a plane crashed. 2 people died. The 2 survivors said they saw discs and could potentially be selling stuff from it. What the hell? Right. Next. Oh my god. Right. It is known that Smith claims that during the conference of the July, Crimson apparently repeated their false story about the material being fragments of a flying disc, and only on Saturday night, August 2nd, is such the case, it would appear either Smith made the anonymous phone call, since they would have been under the impression at the time that the material furnished Captain and Lieutenant Brown was actually part of the flying disc. It would also appear that Dahl and Crimson did not admit that hoax to the Army intelligence officers, because if they had done so, the officers probably wouldn't have taken the alleged fragments with them on their fatal flight. This matter should be cleared upon. Right, I'm lost. So basically, I think these guys made up a story, passed these stuff on to them, and then something else. Anybody in chat? I think I'm a bit behind. Just seeing what gap is now. Just watching myself back on live because I just pointed. Yeah, it's quite a bit. So I'll just stick with it. But if anybody gets out in chat, let me know. Oh, yeah, because I'm really going to be able to read this, aren't I? Actually, I might be, because my handwriting's terrible. Dear sirs, wondering whether the packets in which the young students penned in mail or message from California to something or other. Yeah, I think that's referring to the same one. Right, just going to take a quick break because I'm a little confused. I don't know if anybody's been through this yet on YouTube, because I've not seen how it was yet myself. But there's so much information, it's unreal. I'm only on page 31. There's still another 100 and what? Do quick maths. There's 163, 163 pages to go. What does everybody else think in chat? What are you feeling about this? So this is. It's carefully review the contents of the ascertain that the information contained would have probably be of interest to the War Department. Therefore, I have taken the liberty of furnishing this information to the industry. Indeed, appreciated. God, they were so polite, weren't they? I cannot read that. Nothing. Blah blah blah. Yeah, can't read it. Sorry if that's loud. If you've got advert. Federal Bureau. This is laboratory, comrade. Yeah, administrative records. Publishing. No. Security Division, FBI Internal Security Section, Supervisors. Okay. Pass. What the hell? Oh, right. Okay. So this is what would you alphabetic? It's a code. So basically, any letter or number wrote, then it will. They have to use this to decipher it. I'm assuming. Could be wrong. Let me just quickly screenshot that and run it through ChatGPT because I'm not sure. Although I'm probably going to get accused of using wrong things here. Snipping tool. Go that one. Go that. Go that. That. Control C. Go back to that. Where is it? What is this? Please. Let's find out if AI doesn't have a farting fit. Yeah, start the decoding sheet. I thought it was. Right. Okay. Back to that then. I'm out. So yeah, that's to decode something. And obviously that's what they've wrote where it said there. Solar system, so sent flying discs, and we'll set up world order under Martians later this year. Tired of human nonsense, won't await atomic war, disrupting order, solar system, so sent flying discs, and we'll set up world order under Martians later this year. Right, okay. Oh, if only. If only. Like it's not already messed up. What's this? Calling for decodes. Belmore, about 9 July 4th, I received the following shortwave message in the code. Origin unknown. I kept listening, and about an hour later, this message was repeated letter for letter. I can't figure out what it means. Ditto that. Neither can we, but we hope it's legal. What's that? And some number. What? Stain. Skids Dan. Est up Lord. Drew. So that's ham radio, isn't it? So it'll be I received the following shortwave message. I'm assuming that might be is it Morse code? Let's cheat again and run that through. Can you decipher that? Let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. Cheating again or not? V. Can you decipher this, please? Don't always trust AI. Always check, double check, and whatever else. But it's just a damn sight quicker than I ever were. And I haven't spelled decipher right. It's a good job it can spell check in it. It is an LLM, which is a learning language module. It's just thinking now. Be there 163 days going through it all. It's already, yeah. Look under, yeah, no, I just saw it. What a dickhead. I know. Right, tied human nonsense, atomic flying disc under Martians, right? So that's that, which has been deciphered. Right, okay. I know what it's referring to now. I wish that would have been before that other bit, and then this bit would have been under, but hey-ho, you can't have it all, can you? Yeah, I'm a dipstick. Sorry. Oh dear. Right, let's have a look. I wish to acknowledge the receipt of your letter enclosure date, July 10th night. I have instructed the special agent in charge of our New York office to have a special agent call upon you. Okay. There is no identifiable information in the files right of this letter decoding. Tired of human nonsense, which waits. Right, okay. Right. that Los Angeles papers were carrying headlines indicating that Soviet espionage agents had been instructed to determine the facts relative to the flying disc. The article carried a Washington deadline and indicated that red espionage agents had been ordered to solve the question of the flying disc. The Russians being of the opinion that this might be some new form of defense prefected by the American military. Right. That right. I if anything, right, I believe that. Like legit, I do believe that the military has this technology. I really do. Because if all what's being said is true, then there's no way. So apparently they have, yeah. So let's just say like chicken and egg. Let's say UFOs are real for a second. One falls into America and they literally take it. They backwards engineer the technology and hey presto, that's where I'm at in my head with most of this. I have seen strange things in the sky, but not unquestionable. I could maybe add some context to it. There's nothing that really stands out where I'm like, wow, definitely saw that. I think there might no, there's nothing. So yeah, I'm sat on the fence literally. I might actually call this "I Want to Believe," but yeah. Anyway, where were I waffling on again? War pieces that tinfoil had been dropped in the air for purpose of setting off the valve of radar being used by the enemy forces. That these aluminium discs might be a new development along this line. A direct inquiry to whether the Bureau had any such information. I informed him that I never heard of any information indicating that the Soviet spy agents had been instructed to obtain such information. A check with officials at G2 Aircraft Intelligence was made, and it was found that they had no information relative to such a story. Well, why would they? Story should be flatly denied insofar as the FBI was concerned. Right, okay, what on next? Reference is made to a telephonic conversation with the director of Wednesday of last week, in which the time of director advised that Los Angeles papers carried under Washington Dateline that the Soviet agents are under instruction to solve. Yeah, we've seen this. Pursuant to the instructions, I've contacted the headquarters of military intelligence. Yeah, all agencies denied. All agencies do. They attached 2 copies of the blind mirror setting for the facts. Do you know what, right? In the UK, like our military, they kind of just don't answer. That's the difference. At least you guys get an answer. Ours don't. I think I might have to look it up. There's probably more of it now, freedom of information stuff. But it's always denied a request, or it gets lost, or it just disappears into the whole, the big black hole of everything. Right, so look what we got here. The United States government, Portland, Sacramento. See, I got something right. The full investigation was conducted at Canyonville and Myrtle Creek, Oregon, on August 12th. Yeah, totally. UFO and military experiments. Yeah, 100%. But my question is, chicken and egg. Where did they come from? That's where I get stuck at. Like, I'm not saying, yeah, maybe somebody did have a breakthrough moment in a science lab, but I don't know. It's got to come from somewhere, because this that like if you watch some of the stuff that they've released, like it's unreal. Like it's next level past physics flying. That's what scares me. And then the trouble is that there's so many different accounts of different things. Is like, who knows? Who knows? Right, where were I? Tri-City Airport. I'll put that there because I'll be able to see chat better then. Approximately same. Right, where were I? So visibility was excellent. It stated that the object glistened and appeared to be of aluminium sheeting. Is there even such a thing? I've never seen aluminium sheeting. I'm thinking like stainless sheets of stainless steel. I've seen that, so I'm assuming. Okay, right. Eastern attempt. He advised that the object appeared to be climbing and travelling east at a high rate of speed, which he estimated on a computer in his plane. He observed no vapor trails, nor did he hear any noise from the object. After searching the area for approximately 10 minutes, Hatfield and his student returned to the airport and made another landing and takeoff in practically the same position at 400 feet altitude. Both Ellison and Hatfield saw the object in approximately the same position. He estimated that the sphere to be. They've been hiding stuff from us. Yeah, they've been hiding stuff from us a long time. Yeah, they have. But the thing is, why hasn't it come out yet? Like, so you think of military superiority, like it could just happen if if whoever has this technology could just literally decimate the opponent in seconds. I'm not saying other militaries wouldn't have this technology. I don't know. It just blagged my head. Like if a soul, let's say for instance, let let's just say the moon, because I don't want to say all because I'll you don't want to generalize, but let's say the moon, people of the moon have this technology. The moon is so big, and everything else is so big. If they had the technology, then if they had any issues in certain places, then they could use this technology to decimate. Now, I assume that maybe they don't want the world to know about it, but if you wanted to have power like some do, or for whatever reason, why they're not using it? That's my question to that. Like, there is something there, but like, what they're going to use it for? Because there's wars and we're still fighting wars. Yeah, they are advanced, but they're nowhere near as advanced as what this could be. I mean, the way this stuff flies, I don't know. I'm out because I could carry on forever on that subject. Because I go down one rabbit hole and I want to go to another, then to another. But my question is, if this does exist, then why is it not being shown more, and why is it so hush 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 secret? And like the amount of money that's gone into it, like what's the end game with this? That's my question. Like, there's no end game. It just doesn't make any sense why you put all this cash into it. Like AI, artificial intelligence is good within its certain thing, but it's not going to replace humans, and it's definitely not going to replace anybody. Like, there's so much money going into data centers at the minute, like it's just unreal. Uh, I think I don't know if it's going ahead, but they're supposed to be building one in Texas, like absolutely massive. Uh, and it's just going to be AI's. It can automate things, but it also falls on its ass as well, quite flat. I don't know. There's better and bigger people that know more about this subject for me, but I do honestly 110 million thousand percent think AI will fall on its ass eventually because it's only so far it can go. Uh, yeah, went on a different tangent, even though I am using it to cheat. Right, where were I? I really shouldn't read chat, should I? So we've seen somebody's seen a sheet of aluminium or something that looks like a sheet of aluminium. Advised that approximately while instructing a student, at the airport, right, okay, stated that the object glistened and appeared to be of aluminium sheeting. Okay, so it glistened. He believed that the object to be spherical in shape and recalling noticing a darker object to the right the first time he saw it. He observed no vapor trails, nor did he hear a noise from the object. Again, a pilot, and especially one that's teaching, they have to be aware of the surroundings. It's got to be a good account. His student Noble returned to the airport and made another landing and take off. So that'll have been touch and go, as they call it. They first observed it and appeared to be fly right to it. However, the object sighted the second time disappeared in the same manner as the first time. It's not served as a lieutenant JD in the US Naval Air Corps for about 3.5 years, flying constantly on Atlantic submarine patrol. He's a reputable citizen in Douglas County and is reported to be a qualified pilot. That's pretty good. That, yeah, what they saw might. No, this is what trips me up when it's a pilot and it's somebody that served military and is an upstanding citizen, as it's said there by whoever's reported it. You have to take some sort of credit for this because it's a pilot. They're not idiots. They're trained to fly a plane and be aware of what's around them at all times. Because if anything happens, it's not good for them and it's not good for whoever's on the ground. If anything does come down on them or anything like that. So yeah, who knows? I don't mind that one actually. That's pretty cool. Page 52. I'll write that down. My notes. What does everybody else think? If anybody wants me to pull something back up, just let me know. So I'm just sat here waffling to myself. He advised that he did not observe any evidence of motion such as vapor or trails, that he could hear no noise other than the noise of his own ship. Investigation in the vicinity of Myrtle Creek, Oregon, has failed to reveal any other personal sightings in the objects reported by Hatfield. Nothing further investigation is being conducted. Pretty cool though. It's a good account. Very good. No idea. Oh, this is some check with Army Air Force. Okay. Right. What's this? So this is 20th of August 1947. Right. 20th of August 1947. Between 9:30 and 9:30 p.m. last night, August 19th, Mr. and Mrs. Hedson, 3rd Avenue North, Twin Falls, Idaho, while sitting on the front porch of Mrs. Henry Schultz, observed an object resembling a flying saucer traveling very rapidly from the southwest to the northeast section of this city. About 10 minutes later, all the individuals saw 10 similar objects proceeding rapidly in the same direction in the form of a triangle. Triangles have been seen before, this is known, as this is a group of objects that was about to disappear in the overcast sky. 3 of the objects on the left-hand flank peeled off and proceeded in a northerly direction. The remaining objects in the triangle formation appeared to close ranks and continue in a northeasterly direction. 3 to 5 minutes later, these individuals saw another group of 3 objects proceeding in the direction again in the shape of a triangle. 3 to 5 minutes later, informants observed another group consisting of 5 to 6 objects again in a formation proceeding rapidly in a northeasterly direction. A few minutes later, a large group of objects. Sorry, just checking screen so you can see stuff. A few minutes after, the large estimate between 35 and 50 flew over the city in a northeasterly direction, again in triangle formation. Between 20 and 25 minutes after, the last group was observed. Similar objects were noted coming back over the city very rapidly and proceeding in a southwesterly direction. All this time, informants stated the objects appeared in groups of 3, 5, and 7. At this point, Mrs. Hedson called Detective Richard Fraser of the Twin Falls PD, a next door neighbour, accompanied by Roundtree and Richard Scott, also members of the Twin Falls PD, proceeded to the hedgeroom, from which they observed a group of 12 objects flying in information over the city in a southwesterly direction. Informants. All reputable citizens community able to estimate height of objects or speed. I think they're credible because at the end of the day, it's reputation at stake. If you think about how it was back then, you would be put in a straitjacket and locked up. Uh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's just so hard to say, isn't it? Like, yeah. More to my point is like, I think back then for me that answers anything more than anything else. Is like, it's let's say a year or so after World War II ended for America because it ended later for them. But people have better things to bloody do. Do you know what I mean? Like, they don't have time to just like, oh yeah, I looked at the sky and I saw this thing. There's no fame from that. There's nothing. And like you say, yes, straight jacket. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, fair point. What does everybody else think? Simply Matt, Julie, what do you think? Where were I? I really need to start. Also, members of the Twin Falls, yeah, okay, objects of speed, but claim they resemble illuminated flying saucers. The individuals were of the opinion that the objects were not the landing lights of airplanes nor shooting stars. Only objects were seen to come to Earth near Twin Falls, and none appeared to be flying in an arc. The past over the city investigation continued with the Bureau instructions contained Bureau Bulletin No. 42, paragraph B, dated July 30 last, in the Event Bureau in possession of any information concerning experimental activities on part of the Army forces may explain this phenomenon. Advice could be greatly appreciated. It's believed continued appearance of such objects without official explanation may result in hysteria or panic. Twin Falls, Idaho, Bannister. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that. Cool. I actually believe it 100%, yeah. You've got her, haven't you? Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? No, they didn't gain anything from reporting it either. At all. 5 days inquiries at Army Air Force reveal that no research or experiments were being conducted by AAF. What's that? American Air Force? Pass. Twin Falls, Idaho, on about the August 19th. It's USAF now. I don't know why it would be AAF unless that's a different acronym. In the event, bear with me. It's going to annoy me. AAF. American something. Please go. American Air Force? Is that what you think? No, because it's USAF now. I don't know when it changed. What the hell is that thinking about? Army Air Forces. Yeah, because look, USAF, United States Air Force, after 1947. AMC. There you go. So it's the Army Air Forces. There's definitely more out there than we know about. And everyone was humans. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. I just thought I'd go through these files because it's just weird. I think saucy. Right, okay. Keep moving. Right, okay. In accordance with your request, this matter will be checked to Army Air Forces. Yeah, experiments. Army Air Force revealed that no research experiments were being conducted by the Army Air Force in the vicinity of Twin Falls, Idaho, on or about August 19th, 1947. Stated that no information which would throw any light on the matter reported in this teletype suggests that the memorandum be routed to the internal security section to the attention of Supervisor Fletcher. See if we got a reply from Mr. Fletcher. Part of flying discs, 24, last concerned, interview with Williams. Joint investigation, not possible to sit on the interview, okay. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, but how far do you go with it? Like, the trouble is with this, it's just reading somebody else's account of it, isn't it? That's my only issue. Dated August 15th. This is 5 days before that. Teletype advising that Beach, Oregon, reported August 7, 1947, that he sighted what he believes to be a disc, Mr. John Barton, instead of now stated that it's about 12:30 a.m. He was awakened by his son. Coming in while awake, he noticed a bright glow of light across the sky out over the ocean. He stated that he immediately thought of flying discs and thought this might be one of the discs. Mr. Bartle went on to say that he had no idea there's a shape outside of this object, but that it appeared to be about 5 miles out over the ocean, and that he was able to see it for about 15 to 30 seconds. He further stated that due to the darkness, he could tell nothing about the speed of the subject. He thought that he was travelling a great deal faster than an airplane he'd ever seen. He informed that this glow of light was somewhat similar to the northern light, which sometimes appears in the sky, but of course not nearly as large, and that it appeared to be going up and down, like it's fluctuating in altitude as it's travelling along. He stated it disappeared in the west, either falling to the ocean or disappearing over the horizon. He could give no other information concerning the objects of light reported by him as possibly being a flying disc from Mr. Bartle as an agate at Metalwood Shopping, Newport. Agate, I don't know what that is. Dear Mr. Your letters August has been received, and I am most appreciative of the thoughtfulness which prompted you to communicate with me for your information. No reward has been offered for the US government agencies for the location of flying saucers. I regret unable to assistance in this instance. What? John Edgar Hoover. Wow. Jesus. That's a name, isn't it? Wow. Okay. Bizarre. Yeah. Never going to be able to read that. Take time to read my letter and make a long... No, I'm not going to bother. Right. So we're back to July 30th, 1947. For the Bureau's information, Mr. Jewell of Seabrook on a report to the office of finding a flying disc in her front. What? How did you find it in the front yard? At 6 a.m. on July 26, 1947. It appears from conducted by an agent of the office that stood the ability of June Anderson is questionable. Sorry, I have to actually agree with this a little bit. However, the alleged flying disc was obtained and is apparently the concoction of some of the juveniles in the area. It's an old wooden platter which is assembled on a silver plate, a spark plug, a time, and some more brass tubing. Photographs were taken and there are 6 views enclosed herewith. No doubt this was someone else's idea of a prank. The disc is presently being retained by the Springfield Office and Lane will be retained pending receipt of the Bureau advice relative to its destruction. The thought in returning it was that perhaps the Bureau might desire to have it transmitted to Washington for any no value might have. Wow. Right, okay. That's quite funny. It's a shame there aren't any pictures. Oh no, there is, yeah. There you go. Flying disc. That's funny. That's say Russian. Yeah, does it says Russian on it as well? Let me twist it. Oh, hang on. What have I done? Oh, I broke the bloody internet. Yep, okay, so broke. So, sorry, bear with me. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see it. Control. So you'll see it says Russia there upside down. Russia. That's quite funny. So that's the first photograph. Flying disc. It's the second bit. That's the other bit. This is mad. Yeah, Russia. You see it. That'll be about, yeah, they use inches and feet over there, don't they? So it's about what, 13, no, 11. I can't see that. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's about 16 inch in it. It's like an old record player, doesn't it, that bit? That's a spark plug. Wow. Sorry, just adjusting again. Right. With reference to the letter, it's desired that you contact the appropriate army officials in the event that they are not interested in receiving this alleged flying disc. It may be destroyed. Okay. Reports I've seen 12 to 15 round silver objects. It does. Sounds like something out of Back to the Future. Yeah, literally, it really does, doesn't it? It's funny, though. So, Oregon reported to have seen 12 to 15 round silver objects at a high altitude at 12:15 p.m. September 3rd, 47th Oswego, Oregon, while watching a local plane flying overhead will be interviewed. Okay. Reference is made to the dated, advising that Mrs. Oswego, Oregon was reported to have seen a number of discs on the 9th, so that'll be the 3rd of September 1947 above Oswego, because obviously in America, again, the month is 9, the day is the 3rd, and that's the year. Well, her 7-year-old son and 10-year-old neighbour, Charlotte Lawrence, Mountain New Mississippi, and her children noticed approximately 2 dozen round silver objects high in the sky. Stated that she believed these objects had been a platter-shaped rather than spherical and had been considerably larger than an airplane of the Cub type, which was flying in a different portion of the sky. At the same time, she advised that these objects appeared to be at a great distance and constructed some white metallic material. Sorry, just reading chat, catching up, but I've caught up. Attention was first drawn to objects by an explanation from one of the children to the effect that the airplane was skywriting. Objects were grouped in approximately an arc level with the sun to the left and as viewed by. They did not change positions during 3 or 4 minutes, which she observed. The larger objects appeared to rotate rapidly in the manner of a wheel. One of the objects was separated by considerable distances from the main group, and while she was watching, states this object began to fall and floated slowly downward until it no longer visible because of the trees on the horizon. Advised that she continued to observe the remaining objects until her eyes began to be affected by the brightness of the sky. She went into her house and is in an unable state where she became a group. Right. References made, caption, contacted, Garrett, conducting no research, so that's the same thing again. Okay. So they weren't conducting anything. Our technology receipt of letter near future, your courtesy, John Edgar Hoover. Nice. It's a shame it's not signed because that'd be worth something now. Obviously, if you had the original. So this is the. Okay. Well, this is the letter, September 17th, 1947. Occurred. I was intently watching honeybees circling my patch of sky after leaving my bee box, and my attention was called to the floating object that appeared to be as large as a tennis ball and as white as a cotton. pattern. The subject approached rapidly and noisily from the east and was followed closer by another object that appeared in size and shape like a saucer, which maintained a constant angle of inclination to the ball and followed it at a constant distance. These two objects made an angle with my eye of approximately 5 degrees. They were in my vision for more than a minute when I lost them in the glare of the sun. If I'd seen this in the night sky with my 6-inch telescope, I would have thought that the planets Venus and Saturn had suddenly gotten together and were travelling at great speed much nearer the Earth. Okay. Bureau files, no. Letter deals with called this. You are not to mention the contents of this letter over the air, not to any individual other than the officials of the War Department, members of the FBI, who might donate $10,000 or more. I have no respect for attention. Yeah, this is getting dry, isn't it? For the courtesy, all highly interested, appreciative of general trends of contacts, no budgets for respect to elusive discs. May contact in the above list of persons bearing my contacts. Almost Colonel. This material is considered and still is. I've been asked by Colonel not to speak any further of this material which is being published. Do not mention blah blah. Law speak. I've met before with the mental reaction. What a woman handles type of material. My signature below. Probably evoke the same response. Information which gone out to seek and doing about it. I have no idea what this is waffling on about. It's some letter in it. The attached letter, Mrs. Mixon to give her, which she reports to be part of the flying saucer received in the laboratory on August 19th night. The material which was submitted has been named as powdered soapstones. What? Insomuch the investigative security evidence might possibly be interested in this matter, I request that you advise me of the final disposition of the submitted material as well as the type of reply which should be made to Miss Hickson's letter. The final material submitted is not that it's material to be part of a flying saucer as part of it. Yeah, okay. Powdered soapstones. What are powdered soapstones? If anybody knows what powdered soapstones are, let me know in chat. Right, I'm just going to do this last one and then we'll watch a quick couple of random things and then I'm out because I want to go to bed because I've got to go back to work tomorrow. So, this is dated 28th of August 1947. Phoenix dated August 30th. Right, okay. On August 29th, Mr. George Gate Jr. called that the Phoenix officer exhibited credentials reflecting that he is a representative of A2 4th Air Force, Hamilton Field, California. He also exhibited orders emanating from the officer Colonel Dillon, 4th Air Force, Hamilton Field, California, instructing him to proceed to Phoenix immediately and contact the FBI office, at which the time special agent of the FBI would be designated to the company into the interview, who had previously reported that photographing of a flying disc. The orders further indicated that the San Francisco office of the FBI was transmitting further information to Mr. Fugate's mission. Verified the above information. Phoenix and representative called A2 interrogation. Flying disc has been received at the San Francisco, and that full discussion concerning results inquiries being held with Colonel Springer in connection with the flying disc investigations. Advised that he has maintained close touch with the Bureau and has apparently handled these matters in accordance with the Bureau policy. In view of the above special agent, the Phoenix was permitted to work with. Okay, is there what else on this? Storm had occurred in Phoenix on the afternoon of July 7th, 1947, and the clouds were approximately 5,000 feet, of colour which was grey and they resembled dense cumulus. A 15-mile-per-hour wind was blowing at approximately 5 p.m. Jesus, that's very, very, precise, isn't it? Mr. Rhodes was walking from his home to the hobby shop and he heard a noise resembling soapstone is soft natural made of talc. It is ground and fine and used in all sorts of things because it's silky, heat resistant and chemically stable. Alright, okay. Apparently, coming in westerly direction upon searching the skies, he observed that northeast odd-shaped ship. He described that the ship had been possibly 20 to 30 feet in diameter, travelling at an estimated speed of 100 miles per hour. It appeared to be making a spiral in a small radius of which possibly 1/2 to 3/4 of a mile. Rhodes stated that the sound which he first heard was no longer audible and that he hurriedly cured a 100-box camera from his shop. Completed the first circle, he obtained a photograph. The ship started on the second turn. It was in a northwesterly direction from its place, and he again snapped a photograph which more closely resembled the shape of the ship than photograph 1. This being designated Exhibit 2, submitted to the Bureau, which the letter intelligence downward spiral to ship bank to the right and disappeared onto the clouds. He stated that just as he snapped on the second photograph, Exhibit 2. At the last point, it was between 1,000 and 2,000 feet high. He further described the appearance of the ship as closely resembling a picture which appeared on the front cover of the May 1947 issue of the Mechanics Illustrated magazine. The only difference noted by Mr. Rhodes being that the ship appeared to be flying backwards. Okay. Mr. Rhodes also related that he did not associate the appearance of the ship with the numerous reports of flying discs. He related, however, that after a 3-minute interview with the newspaper reporters, the story that appeared in the local papers was blown up to the extent that Rhodes barely recognised the information furnished by him. Mr. Rhodes explained that the aforementioned dimensions and distances were only estimated, pointing out that his previous experience would probably assist him in making fairly close estimates. He related that he had not been doing experimental work for the past 10 years. He also stated that he was employed by the Naval Ordnance Laboratory, Washington, D.C. during the early part of the World War II, and he left there at the beginning of 1942. Upon his return to Phoenix, he was employed at the Falcon Field near Phoenix. He was leased by the British government for training purposes. He instructed instrument training, aircraft identification, and gunnery practice. This is where his account comes from, because he knows his stuff. He explained that his hobbies have to do with science, physics, radio, electronics, and astronomy. Wow, what a guy. He produced a model which he had radio-controlled airplane. He related that most of the work consists of building transformers, but it is also necessary to depend upon his ability for his livelihood. Transformers as in electrical transformers, so like what you charge your phone with, etc. and stuff like that. It's a step-down transformer, 240 volts. Also, it converts AC to DC. I think that's what he's referring to. In explaining the results of the photograph from the ship, Mr. Rhodes stated that he was surprised that the object appeared dark on the light background, that he fully expected the object would be light and dark background, described in a light spot which appears in the centre of the object. Exhibit 2 has been in the greenhouse. Rhodes insisted that the ship made no noise and that was audible to his ear. He was unable to detect the presence of any propeller. He also related that after the newspaper release of a radio station, wherein statements were made that Rhodes had stated army officials were studying the photographs and that it was a top secret. He attempted to determine the source of this release from the radio station, finally told him that it was a United Press release from Washington, D.C. It should be stated that at the time of the interview, Mr. Rhodes identified himself as an agent of the FBI and exhibited his credentials. I've assumed to his request from Mr. Fugate was issues. I didn't know this is what I'm about. Deliver them to the FBI. Right, okay. Is there any pictures? August, Mr. Rhodes called at the Phoenix office to deliver the negatives. They were accepted long after he was advised that they were being given to Mr. Representative of the Army Air Force Intelligence, United States Army. Phoenix officers knew the teletype of reference instructing that joint investigation should be conducted until after the matter had been handled. Military authorities have complete knowledge of the results of the interview with Mr. Rhodes. No copy of this report has been designated to A2. Flying discs. Chief of Police, Portland states, observed that 515. There's no pictures. What the hell? Why didn't they put the pictures in? Unbelievable. There's no pictures. Why is there no pictures? After all that, there's no pictures. Gertrude. Yeah, I'm a little confuddled with that one. If there were to be a guy that were to say something about something he saw in the sky and to be correct, it would be that. Like that guy, the way he explained it is like he knows what he's talking about. He explained the clouds, he explained how high it was, like where it turned, where it was going, the day, the wind speed, everything. Obviously it was estimated, but if he was trained to do that to spot aircraft, then he would know. So yeah, I don't know. I'd have to believe that. It's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts to think that all this information's here and nothing's going on. Do you know what I mean? Like none of this was released, and I wonder whatever happened to all the investigations and stuff if they ever actually really. Because I don't think I'm going to find it here. If they don't release that, would they? Like, oh yeah, the FBI now believes that so and so. Like, there's nothing there, is there? What does everybody think in chat? So I'm waffling to myself again. Right, I'm gonna. So at page 118, I'll probably carry on with this another night. I know where I'm at, but that one's kind of got me thinking. It's a bit weird. So let's bang up a random quick video of UFOs. Go away. Right, there is videos on here on this one. Not that one. Yeah, that one. So if I go back, right, the one at the top, so they're here. So I'll pick a random one. Let's try this. No. Right, where were I? So 1, 2. Did I do that one? Bear with me. No. Huh? Apollo 12 medical debriefing. What the hell? Is there any sound? Let me just play this. Sorry.
Listen, we read this paragraph in here about these quotes coronal discharges that you guys are seeing, and that completely stops us. Who talked to you about it and what you
Just going to listen to this.
Somebody reported on one of the earlier flights that some guy up, I got the letter, his paperwork somewhere, they shipped it down to me at the Cape about two things where the VHF radio noises, which could be discharges from someplace in space, and the other one were, I thought it was on Neil's flight, he said reported seeing flashes in a spacecraft at night with their eyes closed. Or no, they noticed them when they were awake at night, the spacecraft was dark, and they thought they were in a spacecraft. But whoever this guy was to know, that's a perfectly known phenomenon. You can get discharge across your eye from gamma rays or something. So they had a bunch of things. Would we close our eyes and face the moon, when we were orbiting it, because it would be more, you'd get less discharges facing the moon than away from it. Well, you don't have to be anywhere near the moon or anywhere. The first night out, bing, bing. And if you keep your eyes closed and you're awake down there and it's dark and you think about it, when it happens, you can figure out, you can pin down that it's one eye. It's not a discharge that you see in both eyes. You really see it over one eye or the other eye, and you can see what kind it is. We had two kinds. I guess the particle either strikes the eyeball perpendicular or it discharges parallel. And we get either a flash like that or we get a streak. And I feel that I know they either got a flash or a streak. And I, for some reason, got it more with my left eye than my right eye, but I could tell which eye it was when I was concentrating on it. I'm trying to tell you the reason he did it because where he slept was always on the left side of the spacecraft. And that stuff got switched from the crosshair, and I saw all the right ones in my eye.
Yeah.
I remember playing magical. I split out of
They should have protected you, Dick. They should have picked them all up.
I'm surprised you didn't hear about this because we were asked to specifically experiment with this type of thing. There's 2 pages in the flight plan, the water. We didn't bother because we were seeing it every time we There's a paper right now on this very exact thing. The 2 phenomena that came out of a letter. It was Buzz and Neil talked about this.
I remember their conversation about it.
Sure. They thought it was something, penetrating the spacecraft. What Pete described is the exact phenomenon.
What the hell? This is mental. Obviously, this is a debrief or probably an interview after the mission of medical debrief in the crew of Apollo 12, Commander Charles P. Conrad. It's 1969. So this is mental. So I'm just going to play it through and then I'll quickly talk about it afterwards. But this is crazy.
All 3 of us saw. You see a light, just a flash out there, or sometimes there'd be a streak. And I saw them in both eyes, either eye, and I can't remember if there was one that was more predominant than the other. But I agree with Pete, it's a phenomenon that you're not seeing with both eyes. It's not something external to you, it's something that's
Inside.
Coming across with that one eye. Apparently they know that. Apparently it's a completely known phenomenon.
Well, we've been looking for cosmic rays, cosmic ray strikes, and heavy particles, heavy nuclei that go through. We started at Clearback and Mercury taking photographs of the retina to see if you could see streaks across the retina and stuff. We never could find any in there. And so we stopped that up early in, by the end of the...
Your eye is what, the fastest healer on your body, and if it's doing anything, you're never gonna see it by the time you get a guy back. The only way you're ever gonna see it is if you photograph it right after a particle went by.
Well, probably what it's doing anyway is probably hitting just a single cell, and yeah, that's all it'd have to do. Particularly make this flash. You know, you hit a single cell.
I saw one night, looking at the MDT, a handrail up above, and one right along, I don't know where it went, it appeared, right straight along that handrail for about that distance. And I just got to be looking at that, and you could almost see him at will.
That's right, where you just lie there
You
and
close your eyes,
what a
if you don't want to see one, you open one eye, and you can already see it.
you didn't believe it at first. We thought it was first night. And I know that I said, hey, I'm just being spring-loaded from that, what we heard. I had CT see him and got playing and speaking, and they said, remember the mission, you wake up at night, you say, well, I think I ought to see something. You can close your eyes on the face, it becomes about 1 minute.
Let me ask you one more question about heart. Oh, here.
Were these random distribution of these, or did they seem to be fairly horizontal?
Okay, were these things random, or did they all seem to be in one direction? Like, were they always horizontal, or were they at random? They could be at any kind of angle.
But the streets I saw were mine, the one I saw were horizontal.
I was gonna say, that's interesting. Mine, it seemed to me, I had the impression that they were always roughly in the same place, and mine were horizontal. The horizontal streets were always, if I knew where I was looking, it always seemed like the horizontal street was a little bit above the center. And it always seemed to me it went from right to left, no matter which eye it was in. The discharges were more towards the center, and it would be just like a pinpoint of light went and closed again.
Like somebody was flashing a light at you.
That's
Yeah.
right. Generally not too big a light. It wouldn't fill your eye. Very small
Yeah.
dot.
Yeah.
Just a. But I think it's like a camera.
Is that about the same for both of you? Is that the same reaction you had, Dick and Al, the way Pete described it?
What's that? Mine were
Just
laying
a-
about 30 degrees horizontal, but they were coming. See, I didn't notice them from the right or left.
That's pretty interesting.
They were-
Yeah. But about the same, they seem to appear about the same place,
No, I
you know? Yeah, Pete says-
The horizontal ones that I saw were generally above eye level.
Same way,
MDT
yeah.
was generally high. Now, I don't know, I can't exclude any other, I can't remember, I just don't remember any of them being down on the lower part of the vision.
Well, I think, you see, Dick's telling you about seeing him with his eyes open and other things that each center's eye on, the lights on the instrument panel. Well, I used to notice them the most when I was down there in that sleeping bag. It was pitch black down there in the hole, and it wouldn't make any difference whether my eyes were open or closed. And I could lay there for, I used to kill time that way, say for a half an hour, and either open them or close them and wait, and sure enough, after a while, you'd get one. And then I'd sit there for a while and say, okay, was it in the left eye or the right eye? It'd take you a while to sort it out. And, but you usually figure out which eye it was in. Now you know what you do when you're supposed to be sleeping.
Yeah. There was a comment that
The hell? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Unless we consider whether similar phenomena report bipolar buzz ordering of being attributed to exposure of the retina by cosmic rays. NASA later determined that the phenomena report by internal astronauts vision rather than external light sources. So basically, they're saying that they saw ships. But this has been said so many times with when people go up to space that they see ships coming down to Earth all the time. There's well-known stuff on YouTube that's NASA used to have a live thing from, I don't know if they still do, from the what's it called now? God, I'm tired. The space station, and things used to come in, and it's been known that when stuff used to come past or something got caught, NASA would all of a sudden have a freeze, and it would just say be back in a moment, having technical difficulties or something like that. So yeah, why not? I don't know. Freaked out by that. Anyway, I'm going to call it. If you watched this far, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that has subbed. If you want to give us a sub and a like, put a comment down at the bottom. Tell us anything you want to cover. I am going to buy a new chair because this one's doing my head in. I'm done. Saw one the other day down at range, so I'm probably going to go get one. But if you have come this far, and even if you're still watching me live, I really, really appreciate your time. And thanks for watching. I think that's it from me. I don't think there's not much more else to say, really. I will come on live again, and I'll just dive through some stuff. It's just going to be literally snowballing my way through different evidence. Hopefully we can uncover that's something really good. I thought that was good. I thought it was brilliant to finish on. Yeah, good night, Julie. Thank you for watching. Appreciate your time as always. But yeah,